So today we're going to talk about 3 weird symptoms of a fatty liver. Okay, let me first talk about the function of the liver and what it does. It has a lot of different functions. These are the main ones. It helps you make bile. What's bile? Bile is like the detergent that helps break down fats to the point where you can start pulling out of fat the necessary fat-soluble vitamins, the necessary essential fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids. And then it doesn't break it down 100%, just it breaks it down to a certain degree, and then the pancreas releases lipase, which is the other enzyme that breaks it down even further. So we now have the basic units that we can start using these necessary elements from our food, so they're more functional. So if there's liver problems and you can't make enough bile, you're going to have not just undigested fat, but you're going to have unavailable fat-soluble vitamins, leading to a whole cascade of issues. Number 2, it helps you make proteins, a lot of different types of protein. Lipoproteins, which carry cholesterol, as in HDL and LDL. Also protein in your blood. The liver also makes cholesterol, makes quite a bit, like 1,000 milligrams every single day. The liver can also make glucose, as in gluconeogenesis, making new glucose. And it can make it from fat or protein. And it actually makes and helps you store glycogen. What's glycogen? It's the storage form of glucose. It can turn ammonia to urea, which is a less toxic substance. Ammonia is a byproduct of protein metabolism. The liver helps you detoxify certain things, chemicals, poisons, drugs. And there's certain enzymes called phase 1, phase 2 detoxification, where you're turning these fat-soluble toxic poisons into water-soluble, harmless particles so the body can get rid of them. It also helps you buffer excessive hormones. So if there's too much estrogen, for example, it can help regulate that. Too much cortisol, it can actually help degrade cortisol so you don't have excessive amounts. So it really does a lot. Very, very important. So what are the 3 weird symptoms of a fatty liver? When you have a fatty liver, you lose the capacity of the liver to function. Okay? So one of the weird symptoms would be heart pain. You wouldn't think heart pain is associated with the liver, but when you actually have fat in the liver and even cirrhosis, the liver starts to enlarge to a certain degree and there's not a lot of space in there, so it can compress over to the heart, especially if you're laying on your left side because the liver is on the right side and the heart's on the left. So if you lay down, it can compress on that heart. So it's best, if you have this problem, sleep on your right side. It would be much better. So if you get heart symptoms, but the heart is fine, have them check the liver. All right, number 2, gynecomastia. What is that? Man boobs. Why do you get that? Because you can't filter out excessive amounts of estrogen. And it's just too much estrogen in a male body. Another symptom of too much estrogen would be spider veins as well. All right, number 3, night blindness. Now, night blindness is a vitamin A deficiency. How would you become deficient in vitamin A? Well, you're actually not making enough bile because the liver makes the bile, the gallbladder stores the bile. If you don't have enough, you can't absorb vitamin A. And vitamin A is not just involved in night blindness, it's involved in vision in general. So you're just going to find your vision is just poor and it's coming from a liver problem. All right, here's some other symptoms of a fatty liver. High cholesterol, decreased bile. And what happens if you don't have enough bile, you can't break down the cholesterol. So it's really the bile production that is necessary to regulate cholesterol. Belly fat. And by the way, I had 5 patients who I sent to the radiologist to get ultrasounds, and 5 out of 5 had a fatty liver. So if you have a gut, you might want to get a scan. And the scan I would recommend is called FibroScan. FibroScan is something that your doctor can do to assess not just a fatty liver, but if there's any scar tissue or fibrosis. Okay, it's an ultrasound test, and it can pick that up in certain levels. I think it's a really good test. And ultrasound is not like any radiation, so it's pretty safe. All right, next one, diabetes. So if the liver loses its capacity to help you with blood sugars, this can be one of the results. Fatigue is a very common symptom of a fatty liver. Right shoulder pain, and not just right on the right shoulder pain, but in the right neck, in the jaw, in the back of the trap up here, in the right rhomboid, in the back part by your scapula, to the right of your midline of your spine. Itching, okay, so on the bottom of the feet, on the palms of the hand. You can get redness in the palm of the hand as well. Confusion, irritability. Why? Because you have blood sugar issues. Bad breath, okay, so that's another symptom. All right, there's a couple last things I want to bring up about a fatty liver. Number one, gastric bypass can increase your risk of getting a fatty liver, especially if you don't have enough bile, which I think that's the reason, because they're altering the digestive system to a certain degree. Extreme low protein diets can cause a fatty liver. Now, you would think it would be just the opposite, but if you're very low on protein, the body could actually create fat in the liver, which is interesting. Certain drugs, steroids, tamoxifen, there's a whole series of drugs that can create a fatty liver. Viruses can create a fatty liver, but the most common cause of a fatty liver is high levels of insulin because the person is consuming too many carbohydrates, okay? If you're new to my channel, I put a link down below of exactly what eating plan you should be on to reduce your carbs so you can get the fat out of the liver. And there's one vitamin that's very, very important for a fatty liver, and that is choline, okay? Choline actually can help you take the fat off the liver. I'll put a link down below on a video where I talk about choline. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, real quick, I have a new healthy keto eating plan for you. Just go to drberg.com. It's right on the front page. I put a link down below. Download it. It's free. Check it out.